Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Then tell me, Maria, why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I feel her, I see her, the sun caught in her raven hair is blazing in me out of all control. Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin, this burning desire is turning me to sin. It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. It is the gypsy girl, the witch who set this flame. It's not my fault. If in God's plan, he made the devil so much stronger than a man.
White Boy Summers, his thoughts on the Chagat scandal, not the thing with Bake, the other thing. Yeah, I mean, I had heard about that for a while. People were talking about that after AFPAC for a time. Honestly, people need to realize the guy's literally autistic, literally retarded. The guy's literally retarded. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you can really score that. I don't think it's fair to really hold him to the same standard. I like Chagat. I like the guy.
Welcome to hell. It's Yoba season. Again. That's right. It's Yoba season, bitches. Fresh off of federal charges for invading Nancy Pelosi's office that he tried to scam naive Christians into paying the legal fees for. It's Yoba back once again for White Boy Summer. And this time it's to hang out with child sex predator Dylan Volk and to subject the unsuspecting public at large to this child sex predator's confessions of deviant pedophile behavior for Baked Alaska's monetary gain.
Ladies, can we ask you a quick question? We're doing a little live stream here. All right. You ladies are very beautiful. So, Chagat, go ahead. He's got a question for you.
Here's the controversy. When I was 18, I hooked up with a girl who was 13. I'm now 29. Obviously, I don't hook up with 13-year-olds anymore at all. And I didn't after I got older from that age. But do you think that that's like so outrageously bad?
Yes.
You do?
100%.
Really?
Okay, they're trying to cancel him over it. So what do you guys think?
Yes. Why did you do that?
That's very, that's very, very normal. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 15.
What?
15.
You're 15?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Innocent person after innocent person was exposed to this child sex predator's twisted justifications for his crimes, as Baked Alaska relished in the opportunity to exploit an autistic man's perversions for money. Super chat donation after super chat donation pouring straight into Baked Alaska's bank account. Except the money wasn't going to Baked Alaska's bank account. Instead, as was spotted and verified by multiple donators to the stream, the money was pouring into the coffers of an organization called Viri Virtues. Well, what is Viri Virtues? Well, it's a charity organization, and as it turns out, a religious charity organization run by the Catholic Church, the Diocese of Phoenix, their John Paul II Research Center, headed by Father Charlie Garib of Sephardic Jewish heritage, to be exact. Yeah, that's right. You heard it right, folks. Baked is most likely funneling his donations to a religious charity to avoid paying taxes on his ill-gotten gains. This Catholic religious charity, called Viri Virtues, directed by Father Charlie here, and Father Charlie's not just some fly-by-night huckster. He's been a religious fixture of the Phoenix area for 28 years. He's a highly regarded pillar of the Phoenix community. He's esteemed by his parish and by all. How has he gotten mixed up with Baked Alaska, of all people? So I wanted to know a little bit more about Father Charlie, and so I checked out one of his sermons on the Viri Virtues website entitled Spiritual Warfare. And it turns out, folks, we aren't just dealing with any Jewish Catholic Holy Father. We're dealing with a motherfucking master of spiritual warfare. That's right, we've just encountered a real-life exorcist.
Just so you guys know this, for 10 years I served as the diocesan exorcist. I'm free to say this now because if I were the exorcist today, I couldn't tell you that. I have to kill you. I'm not the exorcist anymore. That's been 3 or 4 years now since the bishop has allowed someone else to do it. So that was my role. So for 10 years, I dealt with this issue of people who were possessed and who had serious spiritual problems with people who were possessed. This one woman, it took myself and another young, strong priest to hold her down. We could barely hold her down. And so there were 3 arms, his 2, my one, and the other arm I was reading the rite over her while we were holding her down, and she had this incredible incredible physical strength, way beyond. Well, the next time I prayed with her, I had to actually tie her with sheets onto a chair so that we could have her under control. And God delivered her. We were able to free her, and the Lord exorcised the spirit. I've had, not too long ago, someone came, they were terrified to go into their apartment. I said, what have you been doing? Well, they were playing with the Ouija board. And they had experienced demonic forces right upon them. They were terrified. So it was like 9 o'clock at night. I had to accompany them to their apartment. I went into the apartment first. I stood there and took command over Satan. They ran in with black, trash bags, stuffed their clothes into it, and left. Never went back to the apartment.
But hold on. Not only can Father Charlie exorcise demons and cleanse your Ouija board of evil, he can also cure cancer and every disease known to man. Take it away, Father Charlie.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to be involved in a healing service at my parish in Glendale. It's all in Spanish. If you know Spanish, come join us. And I've done these over the years, and people are healed. People are healed. People have been healed of cancer. People have been healed of liver problems, of sight problems, of joint problems. And what we do is we lay hands on whoever needs prayer. And there's something about the transmission of the power of the Holy Spirit when you lay hands on people.
Alright, so we're starting to get a pretty good image of what sort of person Father Charlie is. He's a demon-battling exorcist with the divine power to cure cancer. But what about this mysterious organization he's founded? The organization Baked Alaska's money is going to. What is Viri Virtutis? Well, from their website we can see that Viri Virtutis means men of virtue in Latin. And from the About page on the website, we can read that Viri Virtutis is an 18-week formation program under aegis of the John Paul II Resource Center and is intended for single Catholic men between the ages of 19 to 27. There are modules of teachings designed to enable an encounter with Jesus Christ, formation in authentic masculinity and the virtues overcoming sin and addiction, and approaching a state of life decision with a Catholic understanding. The course is geared towards helping young men overcome their lusts, and as Father Charlie explains on his podcast, graduates of the program are encouraged to take a lifetime vow of chastity. And for those that take this vow of chastity, they'll be rewarded with a medallion, which they're expected to wear around their necks and display every single day for the rest of their life.
We're at the very end. We're also going to the bishop is going to do the commencement ceremony, where we're going to give all of them a certificate for having accomplished and completed the course. And to those who are willing to make a promise of chastity, we're going to give them a medallion that we're going to ask them to wear every single day. And they can look at it and remind themselves that they are, with God's grace, seeking to be pure.
According to Father Charlie on his podcast, there are currently 14 students of Viri Virtutis, and this is the first class, which began 9 weeks ago.
We have 14 men currently in this very first run through, 14 men that are part of it, and we're in week 9 yesterday of 18, so we're halfway through exactly.
The air date of this podcast was March 20th of 2021, so 9 weeks before would place the creation date of this organization to January 14th of 2021. And this is confirmed by a posting on sttimothyMesa.org, which states the start date for the program as January 14th. Just coincidentally, this places the creation of the program exactly 1 week after the Capitol insurrection, of which Baked Alaska participated and was charged criminally for. Is it possible this organization was created in the wake of the Capitol riot to funnel money tax-free to political actors sympathetic to Catholic interests? Could this be a front for the federal government to get payments to informants and agent provocateurs? Baked Alaska's money being handled by Viri Virtutis is a strong indicator that foul play is at work here. Think of it. Baked Alaska's signature content is harassing and pepper spraying innocent members of the public while exploiting the mentally disabled to bait donations from his audience. Now, that doesn't appear on the face of it to be content the Catholic Church would want to publicly endorse and financially support through being a tax haven. So how did this arrangement come together in the first place? Enter Suzanne and Paul Giannette, aka Baked Alaska's parents, who, in addition to being well off as a pharmacist and nurse respectively, and owning properties in multiple states, they've run their own Catholic-affiliated non-profit religious charity called the Russian Encouragement Ministries, or REM. They've run that for 25 years, since 1996. The Giannette family, therefore, would have extensive knowledge of the sort of tax breaks religious organizations and non-profits enjoy, and with a vacation home in the Phoenix area, 25 years worth of experience and connections in the Catholic sphere, it becomes pretty clear what most likely happened in this instance. So stay with me here. So, following their son's arrest at the Capitol, Paul and Suzanne would have approached Father Charlie, who they most likely had an existing long-running business relationship with through their charity, and asked for Father Charlie to launder any money their son Baked Alaska brought in this tumultuous time. And Father Charlie, the charlatan that he is, being intimately familiar with the shadiest cons of the Catholic Church, such as exorcisms and faith healings, he saw no moral issue with helping an old associate of his dodge their taxes. The bottom line on this is that the Catholic Church is subsidizing Baked Alaska, and every sick, degenerate, exploitative act that Baked Alaska performs going forward will have the full-throated financial endorsement of the Catholic Church behind it. You know, I'd imagine the worshippers in the Diocese of Phoenix would have more than a few pointed questions for Father Charlie if they knew about this. Maybe the bishop ought to investigate what the hell this rabbit hole is. But knowing the Catholic Church, the bishop's probably already in on it. Oh, and speaking of rabbit holes, you want to see something that'll blow your mind? It turns out Father Charlie is a member of the faculty at the Kino Institute. That's right, the Kino Institute. We're all the way through the looking glass now on yesterday's Enterprise with the bumblebees. But it's real. It's fucking real. Here's the website. Here's the address. It's a real thing. The fucking Kino Institute. It continues, ladies and gentlemen. It continues. And that's the thing, folks. It's going to continue. Despite prosecutors seeking to bar Baked Alaska from streaming after the Chagget fiasco, and the judge at the hearing asking the following question about Baked Alaska.
I have a question for you. Does he have a job, or is his job making these videos?
And the judge making the following statement about why the hearing was taking place.
Well, we're all here because your client recorded all of it and put it up on YouTube, which a smart person might wonder if that's what you should be doing while you're under court supervision. It's the rare case that we can sit and talk about moment to moment what you did and what you said. We can only do it here because you recorded all of it and put it up on the internet.
Despite all of this, and the further risk of wasting the court's time and endangering the public, the judge still decided to allow Yoba to keep streaming. So the donations will continue to pour into Viri Virtutis coffers, and will continue to investigate the Catholic corruption. And folks, I have full faith of the heart that on this journey, not only will we get answers, but the answers will be truly Kino.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road, that's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, we'll travel like that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.